Welcome to the Vol Bros. My name is Evan. This is my brother Rustin. We are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And I accidentally skipped the main part of our intro there. Welcome to the Vol Bros presented by the Uldawa Club. We are very, very appreciative of the Uldawa Club. They are so good to us and we appreciate them. I'm actually going to be there tomorrow, hitting in the golf simulator lounge, trying to get my swing right, working on compressing the golf ball a little bit more. But we are very, very excited this evening. What a huge week on Rocky Top. Swim is breaking NCAA records and all kinds of stuff. But before we do anything else, Rustin, what is that gorgeous piece of smoky gray apparel that you are wearing on your head? What is that?
That is our new GOAT 22 hat.
So what you see on Rustin's head right now, that beautiful just work of craftsmanship, that is now available at our brand new Vol Bros merch store at thevolbros.com/shop, thevolbros.com/shop. And we are so incredibly appreciative of Oak and Twine. Those are the things that we've been teasing lately on our socials. But that particular hat that Rustin is wearing is available on this shop. But wait, there's more. Not only do we have, I'm going to bring that back up on the screen in just a second. Not only do we have that gorgeous smoky gray one for all the baseball fans who loved watching the national championship last year, we got dark mode too, baby. Oh, yeah, I'm excited about that. I got my dark mode shirt on. I got my dark mode hat. I am loving the dark mode. So you can see mine there. Oh, yeah. So we got smoky gray. We got dark mode. And you can find both of those at this store. I'm going to put the smoky gray link in the comments right now. So it's going to show up on Facebook and YouTube in the comments. And then I'll put it on Twitter here in just a minute. So the link to the smoky gray is now in the comments if you like the one that Rustin's wearing. If you prefer the dark mode, I'm posting it in the comments right now. So there you go. Absolutely super excited about these beautiful hats. I love it. We got the GOAT with the Tony Vitello number 22 right in the middle of it, honoring the best coach in baseball. Jesse, welcome. So Jesse is here with us. Jesse is one of the people who made this hat. She is the Chief Operations Officer at Oak and Twine. Jesse, we're glad you're here. So let me tell you a little bit about this store in Oak and Twine. We are so appreciative that we found them. Kudos to our dad. He was actually at Salsaritas eating lunch several months ago, and he ran into the owners of Oak and Twine. And it just so happened that, recently, and you all know this, watching our show, our previous store with Teespring, it was taking like 2 months for orders to be fulfilled, and that just wasn't cutting it. That was not cutting it. And so we contacted Oak and Twine. Sure enough, they do print on demand, and they even took it a step further, and they make hats as well. And so I'm gonna zoom in, on our store here. Really awesome. We got all our best designs, best selling designs. We got honorary sis and honorary bro still on there. Battered Vol Syndrome Survivor is on there. Everything School is on there. The GOAT. If you like this hat, you can get it in a shirt too, or a hoodie, or a sweatshirt. In My Tony Era is back on there. We got that one on there. Let's see. Our Home Sweet Home design is still there, and our TriStar design. So all our best-selling designs. Eric said those GOAT 22 hats are both awesome. I totally agree with you. I 100% agree. Rhonda said those are cool. I appreciate that, Rhonda. The links are in the comments already. Jesse said, shout out to Eddie and Michelle. They're amazing. So excited for this partnership. We are excited for this opportunity. We are so thankful for them. And I'm so glad you mentioned Eddie and Michelle, because I was about to talk about them too. Robbie and Jesse are the two owners at Oak and Twine, and we're going to be excited to have them on our show next Sunday. It's not this upcoming Sunday, but the one after that. Michelle also works. I mean, that's what I'm so appreciative of them is we wanted a local company that is not a Teespring, not a Bonfire, an actual small business local company that we could partner with and support. That's why we love our partnership with the Ooltewah Club. And now right here in Ooltewah, Tennessee, just outside Chattanooga, there's another partner that we have now in Oak and Twine. Jesse and Robbie started this company. Michelle is Robbie's mom. She works with them too. Kristen is their client relations manager. She's awesome person, super sweet and kind. And Eddie, I got to give kudos to my man Eddie here. Eddie is the masterful hands that made these hats. The beautiful thing I love about them, and I'm going to zoom in on my hat real quick. So the beautiful thing I love about this is it's puff embroidery. How cool is that, man? This isn't just some, flimsy hat. No. This is like high quality, one of one, as Jesse said today, design puff embroidery hat. I absolutely love it. I'm super pumped about it. You're going to be seeing me wear me I'm going to wear it all the time on here. So we so appreciate Oak and Twine. We strongly recommend you to check them out at oakandtwine.com. And they are very, very close to hitting 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. So go over to Instagram, go to @oak_twine and follow them there as well. Just awesome folks. We're super excited. I'm just loving looking at the hat on the monitor in front of me. It looks so good. So thank you to Oak.
I would add two things. Number one, I'm all about a good hat. I like quality. And those of us who played college baseball or coach baseball, we know the difference between a good hat and a bad hat. And these are Richardsons. They are excellent quality. You will not be disappointed. The other thing I would say, if you go to oakandtwine.com, you'll also notice, I know we have a lot of listeners and a lot of viewers who are in a lot of different industries. Oakandtwine.com does print demand, screen print, I'm blanking.
Promotional products, if you need coffee mugs.
Promotional product. That's the word I was looking for. Promotional products, anything at all that you all need. They've got it, and they can set up an online store for your company. So I would strongly encourage you, if you buy a lot of apparel, even medical scrubs, they do a lot in the medical supply field. If you have a company that does a lot of work in those areas, I would highly recommend you check out their website, see what they can do for you. We always want to shop local. Don't support the big boxes. Go help your local community.
Absolutely. And Rhonda totally agrees. Rhonda said, that's great. Y'all always good to support our local folks. Absolutely. Ned Mack, welcome. We're glad you're here too. Jesse said, can't beat a Richardson 112. Absolutely. That's what we're rocking right now. Dude, I love this hat. I'm serious. I love it. I just keep looking at it in the monitor. Josh, welcome, buddy. Great to have you. He said those hats are fire. Kristen said, Robbie said they're having an office pizza party if they hit 1,000 subscribers tonight or 1,000 followers on Instagram. So please help them out with that. Robbie, thank you so much, man. He said, thank you for the kind words. Love the hats. Me too. Ned Max said he loves the hats too. Josh gave us an update. Matt, welcome, Matt. Good to have you, buddy. So Matt's a local Chattanoogan. We got some awesome hats now available, man. And so if you go to our website, you will see in the top right corner, the shop link is back again. Guess it's back again. So that shop button is back, and it'll take you straight to our store. And if you click on sponsors down here at the bottom, we've got the Ooltewah Club and Oak and Twine right there. So you can find their website right there from ours too. But we are so appreciative of them. I'll tell you something else we're appreciative about. We have an awesome guest with us this evening. Many of you watched Tennessee hit multiple home runs in their weekend opening series against Hofstra last weekend. And if you were watching Friday night on opening night, then you saw Hunter High hit his first career home run with the Tennessee Vols. He's in his second year with the Vols. And we are so fortunate to have his mother, Emily High, with us tonight. Emily, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
And cool. That's awesome. First podcast. Hey, I'm glad we're the first one. That's awesome. And you will notice behind her is a dark mode jersey from the baseball team. Is that the national championship jersey?
It is. It is. We got it framed for Hunter for Christmas. So hanging on the wall.
That is awesome. This hat would look amazing with that. I'm just saying.
My boys know all about Richardson 112s. They're hat snobs as well. So they would approve.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, many people have already seen you on the interwebs because they saw the viral video of you and Brent watching Hunter hit the home run. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but you all were watching your older son at Tennessee Tech, his game, and then you came out in time to see Hunter hit his home run. Is that right?
That is correct. Houston is a bullpen pitcher. And so we were trying to play the game of hoping that we were there when one of them were playing, but who knows if that's going to work out this year. So luckily though, both teams stream their games so we can watch. We did the same thing on Sunday. We were watching Tuesday. We were watching Houston pitch and watching Hunter play. So it's a blessing that all the games are streamed on ESPN. I don't know what we'd do without it.
Absolutely. Hey, we're in the same boat. We agree. Well, what was so cool about that video was, and Wes Rucker, he quote tweeted it and commented this as well. You're sitting here getting to watch your son. And before I ask the second part of my question, I almost skipped ahead. But my first question is, can you describe for us that moment that, here's your son, you've seen him grow up dreaming to play college baseball, and he gets in the game and he hits a home run over the right field fence. What was that moment like for you? He did something big, from the video, he did something big. So what was that feeling like for you as a parent watching that?
Well, as a parent, you want so much for your kids and you want their work to pay off, and you want them to have success, and you don't ever want to see them fail, but obviously that's part of baseball, and it's certainly part of sports. So to see him, he's hard worker and puts time, and as Coach V said, he's a grinder and a competitor and never backs down from anything. He's got a football mindset. So to see him able to do that and run around those bases was pretty special. It was a little hard that we weren't there, but ironically, I missed his first home run. I was with Houston when that happened, and so it's he is well loved and was well supported. Had some friends in the stands that videoed it for us from the stands, so it was kind of fun to see that as well.
And Jonathan, welcome, Jonathan. Great to have you. He just said Hunter High has the best walk-up song on the team.
Well,
that's awesome.
The ironic thing about that is his dad is a music. Well, he and his dad and his brother are music lovers, and they talk about the walk-up songs for months before they choose them. So still, I don't get involved with that, but they bounce songs off one another. And Houston's is actually eastbound and down. Is that correctly? So they love the old stuff.
Well, and now my understanding is we're talking to a Hall of Famer right now. Like that's my understanding. I was told that you are a Hall of Fame member at Lipscomb University for basketball.
I am, but
I was also told that you're the person who throws BP to Hunter.
I do throw BP to Hunter because when they were little, their father, Brent, was a collegiate pitcher, and he could not throw it soft, and he could not throw it without any movement. And I could and so I just kind of fell into throwing BP when they were little, and then when they got older, I just kind of stayed with it. And so
that's awesome.
I actually was retired this Christmas break. His brother Houston took over for me. So, but I am the mom that throws BP. Yes.
Passing the torch to the older brother now.
My son feels his pain. I was a college pitcher too, and he gripes all the time. My ball runs a ton, and he complains all the time that, no pitcher he faces moves as much as mine does, and makes excuses for why I'm blowing it by him.
Well, that was fine, in high school or college, but when they're 5 and 6 years old, daddy probably doesn't need to have the ball sinking on them.
Well, my other question for you, and then Rustin has two fantastic questions, in my opinion, he's going to ask. But my other question for you is, one of the coolest things about that video that went viral on the interwebs was right before Hunter hits that home run on your stream. Hard to, so Robbie was a am I glitching? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So
Yep.
Robbie was a college baseball player at State. He played first base at Appy State. And so he said a good BP thrower is hard to find. Robbie also, Rustin, or Jesse did your kind words about Oak and Twine. So my question, the coolest part about that video was seeing all of their messages start showing up on Hunter hit the home run. And the I think was from Colby Backus's mom, and woohoo! And there's another one that said, "What a shot!" And all this kind of stuff. And you looked at it and said, "He must have done something big."
Well, I think you're glitching a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well,
I can hear you.
Okay. Beth Backus, Colby is Hunter's roommate. So, even if he had hit a single, she would have celebrated that. So then when the rest of the moms started chiming in, I knew that it was more significant than a single or anything like that. The really cool thing about the Vol moms is there's a group text, and they truly celebrate everyone on the team and everyone's success. And it doesn't matter if it's Simo's home run in the World Series, or if it's a freshman's home run in a midweek. It does not matter. Everyone chimes in, everyone celebrates. There's a lot of
awesome.
Goes all the way back to the 23 season that are still on the group me. So it's quite a family, and they give you tips on tickets, tips on parking, tips on hotels. So it's really, really a neat atmosphere. And I think it builds camaraderie. And then when success happens, like last year, you continue to talk all through that summer. And it's just it's a neat feeling to feel supportive in something that truly is. I mean, college athletics, it's competitive. Our boys compete with each other every single day, and you don't feel that from the parents, which is really a blessing.
Emily,
awesome.
I'm curious. I would love to hear from your perspective, and you're probably going to have two different perspectives because you have two sons playing Division I baseball, one at a mid-major and one at a Power 5. What was that recruiting process like for both sons? And why was it Tennessee for Hunter? And I followed Hunter his junior and senior years in high school. And people who have been with us for a long time can attest. A year and a half ago, I'd said on this show, watch out for Hunter High. He's going to be a player. He's going to do great things here. He's a guy that Tennessee fans are going to love. So why Tennessee, and what was that recruiting process like for both sons?
Well, recruiting can be stressful because you go to these showcases and these events and these and if you perform or you don't perform, and then they reach out to you, you reach back out. And so it's this constant level of stress. And our oldest graduated in 2020, so that was his COVID year. Luckily he had already signed before that happened. But I can't imagine if you were a 2020 kid and you were going into your senior season and you had not committed or had not signed yet, how devastating that would be. With Hunter, Hunter had a amazing sophomore year in the summer. and started getting offers from some mid-major schools, several offers from mid-major schools, and then he played for the Rawlings Mad Mavericks, and Ben Hazlip helps run that organization, and Ben loved Hunter's grit and his competitiveness and how he plays. And you could see that a little bit when Hunter hit the home run the other night. His reaction, like I said earlier, he plays baseball like a football player. He plays the same way. He was never obviously the biggest linebacker on the field, but he got every bit of ability out of his body. So he plays like that. And so Ben really loved Hunter and started reaching out to some coaches and different things. And so Coach V came to watch him. And I can't even remember the tournament in Atlanta. That's terrible because I think I've spent most of my summers in Atlanta the last years.
Probably the WWBA or one of those. Yep.
And then he came and watched him then, and he performed well. And then he came back, I guess it was a week and a half later at the Futures game, and Hunter hit a backside home run and a backside triple. And then I think Coach V called Ben, was talking about that he was, going to offer Hunter. And that was a couple days later, he called and offered. And Hunter grew up a huge Tennessee fan. So he had a couple other big time schools starting to talk to him and nibble at him. But when Coach V offered him, it was done. I mean, Hunter almost committed on the phone call, but he and talked to us. And then I think it took about 2 hours, and then he called him back and said, "I'm in." So he loves it. He loves everything about it. Like I said, my family's huge Tennessee fans. And so, dream come true to be able to play in the orange and white. And then his first year,
awesome.
With all the, the numbers and different things, and make the travel squad, and then get to go to Omaha and, be a part of that. I mean, there's a picture of Hunter standing on the field with, the towel wrapped around his head, just looking up at the scoreboard. It's just, you just can't imagine. I mean, no one, we talk about all the time, the different things that people accomplish in life. If, to win the national championship your freshman year is pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Rustin, before you ask your next question, we just had maybe the best question of the whole night asked in the comments. So we got 356 people watching across all three platforms right now. Welcome to all of you. And Sam just asked maybe the best question of the night. He said, does Emily have her fur coat ready and her mommy hat ready? And Matt said, Emily definitely needs a mommy hat.
I do not have a fur coat, but Dylan Dryling's mom brought a fur coat and mom to the stands last year. I've not seen it this year, but honestly, it has been so cold at the game so far that
somebody is wearing it. They wouldn't share.
Absolutely.
Well, I have one last question. I have a 7th grade son. He's a sidewinder. He has big aspirations, watches every pitch of every Tennessee game. For all the parents out there who have middle and high school age kids who have big aspirations, what advice would you give to them as a parent of a child who has made it?
Number one, enjoy the process. Don't allow it to become all consuming. Number two, if your child is being recruited, that's special. It does not matter what level it is. There is very few people who play collegiate baseball at any level. So that is an honor. And number three, the biggest thing is make sure that your son or daughter understands that they are more than baseball or softball, because it is so competitive. It can become consuming to them to the point where they live or die from every at bat or every pitch or every error in the field. And it's just, in the end, it is a game. And I understand that it is very competitive, and with NIL and everything else, it is a business. but in the end, it is a game. And if they're not having fun at the game, then they can't perform well, and they can't compete, and they can't be successful.
Those incredibly wise words. People agreed with you in the comments as well. Rhonda said, absolutely, Emily. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's so fun and nerve-wracking at the same time.
It is.
Just, enjoy it and slow down and realize that that it's not going to last forever.
I pitched all the way through college and had a pretty successful career. I am never more nervous than when my son gets on the mound. Like it is the most awful moment ever.
I don't. Yes, I really believe that Hunter could be, and it has nothing to do with one's ability and the other one's ability. It really, truly doesn't. Hunter could be hitting to win or lose the game at the College World Series, and Houston could be pitching in a mid-major, in a midweek game against no one, and I would be so nervous for Houston because the pitching, and I don't know why. It's the
yep.
Me, it's just so much more nerve-wracking than the hitting, and I don't know why that is.
Well, to the 381 people watching across all three platforms right now, we appreciate y'all joining us, and we are extremely appreciative for Emily for her taking time to join us tonight. It was an absolute treat for us, and we so thank you. Now, just so you know, we always have a gift for our guests who join us. Now, typically, Matt said, now we know why Hunter's such a great young man. Absolutely. There you go. So Felix Okpara, his on the basketball team, we had Felix and his parents join us for a show one night. And usually what we do is we give a shirt to any person who joins our show. They become an honorary bro or an honorary sis. And so you are actually our second honorary sis ever. Now, when we had Felix and his family on here, there was some concern that if we sent them shirts, the NCAA would view it as an impermissible benefit. So I got to do some research first to make sure that we can actually send this to you without getting you or Hunter in trouble.
NCAA is not a huge fan of the University of Tennessee, so you might need
that is accurate.
Out those eyes.
It's unbelievable that a free T-shirt on a podcast could be considered an impermissible benefit.
Yeah.
Like, do they have nothing better to police?
Yes, understandable.
So just in case we can't send you one, I just wanted you to know you are now the second ever honorary sis in Volbro's history. So we appreciate you very, very much.
I'm honored. Thank you. You guys do a great job. I enjoyed my time.
Well, thank you so much. And we're so excited for Hunter. We're so excited for your family. We wish him nothing and y'all nothing but the best. I hope that he has a tremendous second year on Rocky Top.
Thank you. Talking about being nervous, April the 1st, Tennessee Tech will be at Tennessee.
Yep.
Oh.
They are already trash talking each other. So
and that's a midweek game, so you may very well see your sons face each other.
Yes, and I don't know what I would do. I don't know. Don't know
if I'm the coaches on both teams, I'm making sure that happens.
What a storyline.
I may take the restroom when they face each other. I'm not.
Yeah. Hitting dingers. That's one of our always listeners. That's me, no likey is her usual name. She said, "Yikes, that'd be a tough spot." I love her already taken our goat and turned into a profile photo. That's amazing. Said, "Thank you." Rhonda said, "Thanks for Emily." We certainly do appreciate you, and you are welcome anytime on this show. And so, good luck to Hunter the rest of the year, and thank you so much. We hope you have a great year.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Well, that was awesome.
your stream is usually completely solid and never an issue, but for some reason you're glitching really badly tonight. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because my kids are watching downstairs. Normally they're not watching. I'm hard of gigabit internet. Um,
For all of those who joined us a little late, you may have missed the first 5 minutes. We are wearing our new Goat 22 hats because if you've been with us for a while, you know that we had an online store for a while and we had to take it down because the distributor was just doing a horrible job. And so we were very fortunate to find Oak and Twine. They're a local small company here in Chattanooga. And I would strongly encourage you to go check out oakandtwine.com. They can provide all kinds of needs for you. If whatever your company is, they can probably help you with apparel or novelty items or giveaways or pins or pop-up banners, whatever it is that you need. And they can set up an online store for you as well. If you're in the healthcare industry or you buy a lot of scrubs, they do all kinds of scrubs and apparel in that industry. They can help you there. And they are very close to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 followers on Instagram. And so, if you're one of our viewers, we would also encourage you go follow them on Instagram. You can see some examples of some of their work, some of the things that they've done, and we are very appreciative to be able to partner with them. And you'll be hearing a lot more about them in the weeks to come. But the first thing we wanted to show you was this 22 goat hat. I have the smoky gray. Evan has the dark mode. And it is now available on our new online store that is finally back up, and as well as several other items that you should probably check out.
and it's puff embroidery. Like this is legit good material, good quality. Richardson hat. I love it. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that was awesome having Emily on here. What an awesome interview. That was so much fun.
Yep.
We just crossed over 400 people watching live across all 3 platforms. So welcome to all of you watching live. We certainly appreciate that. Huge week for Tennessee athletics. I guess let's go with hey, Matt said those hats are sick. I appreciate that, man. I agree. I totally agree. Hit and Dinger said those are gorgeous hats. I appreciate that very much. We got dark mode and smoky gray. Rustin's wearing the smoky gray. I'll put those links in the comments again. And Rustin, while you're recapping your thoughts on the Lady Vols tonight, I'll put it on Twitter as well. We got 405 watching now. We're glad y'all are with us. So Rustin, what did you think about the Lady Vols this evening? Big time second half, but what did you think?
I didn't just think it was the second half. I thought overall, I mean, the third quarter was outstanding, but I thought overall they just played very, very well. They're getting more and more consistent. I love that Jewel Spear is asserting herself as the go-to. They needed that. And I'm going to contradict myself right now, but I think this is why Jewel has become the go-to. When they share the ball and when they are versatile and everybody's attacking, they're almost impossible to beat. There was a moment in the first half, they were down 7. Alyssa Latham and Kanaya Boyd came in and rattled off 7 unanswered between them, and all of a sudden it was a tie game. And it kind of woke up everybody else. And all of a sudden, Tess Darby hits a few threes. Sam Spencer hits a 3. We get a couple of transition layups. All of a sudden, Z Spearman comes to life, and I'll tell you, Z Spearman might be the most improved player in the entire SEC. If you look at her from the beginning of the season to now, she is playing out of her mind. I love how strong she's being with the ball. She gathers. In basketball terms, we say you want to play off 2 feet. She's constantly playing off 2 feet. You never see her off balanced anymore. She has become scary good. And in the midst of all that, you have the glue. You have Jewel Spear, who is just doing everything right. Every time she's open, she knocks it down. Tonight, they were pressuring her, weren't allowing her to shoot, so she attacked the basket, got fouled repeatedly, and went 11 for 11 at the free throw line. She ended up with 20. but 11 of those came at the free throw line. And she just continues to find ways to produce. And the other thing that I thought was just really cool to watch, there was a little bit of a skirmish tonight, and it was getting a little chippy. And Ashley Barker for Alabama at one point went to Jewel Spear and said, "I'm sorry, that wasn't intentional. Can you please let them know?" Because nobody was listening to her. She was trying to apologize, and they had had enough, and it had just gotten real chippy. And I love that even opposing teams look at our roster and go, if I need to talk to somebody, I go to Jewel Spear. Like, that's a level of leadership that has not been in this roster for years. And they are peaking at the right time. They are doing all the little things right. Their defensive transition early in the game tonight was awful, and they fixed it. And in the second half, it was a non-issue. They are just, if I had told you at the beginning of the season, hey, the roster is almost going to be completely decimated. They're going to go out and sign 6 or 7 girls in the portal. They're going to play a brand new system that none of these girls have ever played before. They're going to play a brand new defensive system that's very difficult, and they're going to rotate 5 at a time every 2 minutes the entire season. My next sentence would not have been, and they're going to win 20 games. But here we sit. And, they're looking at getting, they're sitting pretty to host the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. They're going to go down and whip a really bad Florida team this Sunday. That's going to be win 21. They are getting confidence, and they are growing and playing better and better and better. And I would not want to play them in March. They're going to be a really tough out.
Pretty cool at the end of the game when the crowd starts chanting just like football. That was hilarious. And I'm going to be honest with you, kudos to Kanaya Boyd.
She can play.
Yeah. I mean, they had that Alabama clawed back in it in the fourth quarter, got back within 5 points at one point. I think within 3 at one point. And Tennessee had gone 3 minutes without a field goal. Kanaya Boyd brings the ball up the court, has a hesitation dribble, and just blows past the entire defense for an easy layup that ended that run by Alabama and got all the momentum back in for the Lady Vols. Just a huge, huge moment in that game. Probably about maybe 3.5 minutes left in the game when that happened. Just a tremendous, tremendous momentum swinging play.
Goal USA 2-1.
Kristen said she loves that dark mode. I do too. It's pretty awesome. I love it. Josh said Tess Darby was great tonight. How many threes did Tess hit? 3?
She ended up hitting 3. She scored 9. She was 3 of 4. But I tell you, the thing I really appreciate about Tess tonight, she did a good job looking for her shot. That was good to see. She was being aggressive. But even more importantly, she wasn't a liability on defense. She has figured out that she's not the fleetest of foot. And she's doing a really good job of what's called a second step cutoff, where when she gets beat, which happens almost every possession, instead of running on their hip, she's sprinting past them 2 steps and then coming back to the ball. If they take a pull-up jumper, okay, no big deal. We want them to take pull-up jumpers. But letting them get all the way to the basket as you run on their hip doesn't help anybody. And so she's learned that. She's gotten better. They've clearly shown her in video, hey, you can't keep letting this happen. And tonight she did a fantastic job with that second step cutoff and keeping people from getting all the way to the basket.
To the 435 people are not, and it keeps going up. I love it. Across all 3 platforms, welcome. We're glad you're with us. If you like our hats, we can help you get one. The link in the comments. Got the GOAT with 22 for Coach V in the middle there. I love it. Puff embroidery, Richardson hat. It's awesome.
And unlike our previous distributor, these will actually get to you in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Our man Eddie running the embroidery machine, stitching these like a boss. And we're so appreciative for Oak and Twine. Like Rustin said, it's a local company right here. right down the street from us in the Oldwall Club. It's awesome to have another local partner with us, and we're so appreciative of them. Robbie and Jesse are just awesome folks. Really, really sweet, kind people, and hard working. And that's the thing, Robbie. If you're still watching, man, I so appreciate your hard work and helping us get our store up and running by tonight. Thank you so much. We do appreciate your time. They're awesome folks, and I'm excited for people to get these hats and other items on our store and see the awesome packaging it comes in, the beautiful box oak and twine on it. It's so cool, man. So local businesses helping each other. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
If you're a company that needs an online store, they can set one up for you as well.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. Some of the other comments that came through, I'm just going to go back real quick and then we'll talk about some baseball. Rhonda, second evening Vol Bros, go Lady Vols, absolutely. Tennessee Cup, there's Rhonda, fancy scene here. Yep, glad you're with us too. Mississippi Vol, welcome, buddy. He said, good Thursday evening to the Pierce Bros. You know, all season we've been saying Lady Vols are a team you didn't want to see in March. They're beginning to look like that team. I totally agree, man. Totally agree. You know, a difference between what we've seen the last 2 weeks and what we saw back in late December, early January. They're still in close games, but now they're winning them. Whereas they were on the losing side then, now they're winning them. And that's a big, big, big shift. Let's see. Eric, glad you're with us, buddy. So what's up, all Rose? Finally, the show begins. Excited all day for this. Hey, I like that, buddy. I like that, Eric. Papa J, welcome, buddy. Great to have you. He said, great 2 quarters for the Lady Vols. Other 2 were good. Yep, agreed.
Hey, 2 good and 2 great equals a win almost every time.
I love this right here. This comment from Jonathan. He said, I still want to see a live show from the Oldwall Club with Rustin playing around the golf in the simulator. That's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff. We should do that. You can play Pebble Beach this time. It's so easy.
Yep. A lot of rocks.
I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there getting get my swing dialed in tomorrow. That's my hope. Let's see some of the other comments that came through. Hey, I really do hope everybody goes and follows the Instagram account for Oak and Twine tonight, because Robbie said they can have an office pizza party if they hit 1,000 tonight. They're really close. They're like 60 people away. I mean, they're really close. Let's see. Going down through the list here. Hey, hitting dingers. That's Mina Likey. She said, hit that like button. I think that's excellent advice. 452 people watching right now. If everybody hits the like button and shares, that's the more important thing. If you share it, that'd be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't yet. We would love your support by buying a goat hat with Coach V's number in the middle here, or any other Home Sweet Home shirt or anything like that. That'd be awesome. That's the thing. You know, we got all kinds of stuff on here. Battered Vol Syndrome Survivor still there. Everything School still there. Rustin has that shirt. You got all different kinds of stuff. So there's a shirt right there, $23.76, a 50/50 cotton polyester blend. What a great deal, man. What a great deal. And you got different color options. So cool. Look, there's an orange one. That we should do an orange one with the Home Sweet Home on there. That'd look pretty good. So you got all kinds of options. Some of the other comments that came through. Let's see. This is good. Rhonda said, I could hear Rustin's comments about the referees every time we got a questionable call.
I've given up.
I love that. Josh said Vols are going to win out.
I say I've given up, but I got to point out one. There was a play tonight. Girl for Alabama drove across the lane. No one touched her. She jumped in the air and took an off-balance shot. One of our defenders just put their hands up.
It was Riley Latham.
And Alyssa
exactly
Latham, you mean?
About.
Alyssa
yeah, what did I say?
Riley.
That was a student I had a long time ago.
And because the girl jumped awkwardly and looked weird, they called a foul.
Yeah.
And it was like literally no one touched her. So on the very next possession, because, two wrongs make a right, on the very next possession, Talasia Cooper flew in the lane completely out of control, threw off a wild shot out of control. They bailed her out and called a foul when she didn't get fouled either. Because they're like, well, we blew that one on that end, so let's make it up down here. It is mind-boggling how bad they are.
Sanders, welcome. Great to have you with us. She said, big win for us tonight. Totally agree. Totally. Anytime you get a top 20 win, that's a good night for sure. Jonathan, maybe with the comment of the evening, he said the women's team is doing exactly what Coach Caldwell said months ago. The closer to March they get, the better they're playing. You're exactly right, Jonathan. It's a fantastic point. Let's see here. Hidden Dinger said we'll need to add a bad ref response to our Vol fan watch. Let's see. Josh said Barker must have learned her flopping from Mark Sears. That's pretty good. And Matt made a good point. 20 wins now. That's a big deal. Rhonda said they're having fun. Absolutely. Josh said went out and win a few games in the SEC tourney, and they could get a 3 seed. That's totally in the cards. You're exactly right.
Definitely.
Carl said, for the sake of naming player after player, great team performance tonight. I've missed some shows. Happy to catch this one, and I like the hats. I came across the Richardson brand a couple of years ago, and we appreciate you, Carl. Thank you so much, man. I'm in love with this hat. I love it. I'm going to order the smoky gray too, because I like it too, but I'm not kidding. Like every time I look just out of my monitor over here, I'm like, man, that's a good looking hat.
Can't go wrong with a Richardson.
Yep. Jonathan said, what happened to Ruby Whitehorn the last couple games? She hadn't been scoring as much.
She's played well. She just needs to see one go down. The absolute best thing could happen to her is if they call a foul. Like she just needs to get to the free throw line and see a couple of shots fall for her. Because she's getting to the rim and she's getting to the spots where she likes to take shots. She just can't seem to get one to fall. So here in the next game or so, maybe even this Sunday at Florida, she'll see one go in and it'll autocorrect. She'll be fine.
We're up to 471 now. That's exciting. Thank you all across 472, across all three, 473, across all three platforms. That's exciting. I love Rhonda's idea. She said, we need an honorary Volbros chat shirts. I love that. That's amazing. You would be in it, Rhonda. You would 100% be in it.
Honorary chat.
Matt said, about to buy a hat. Any coupon codes? That's a great question. Not yet, but we can work on that for sure. We can work on that.
It literally went live today. So
yeah,
we're not that far along yet.
And the good news is there's more coming. Like there's going to be some Summit Blue, color apparel. So we'll have some blue on there. That's going to be exciting. 481 people now, 482. That's so cool, man. So there's going to be Summit Blue material clothes on there, shirts and hoodies and stuff. So we're excited about that too. Just really, really awesome. And I'm telling y'all, Robbie worked his tail off to get it ready by today. And we really do appreciate him working on it so hard. So we'll work on that. As always, hey, listen, if Tennessee ever wins a national championship and it's something again, I guarantee you there's going to be a natty code. That will be a fun one for sure. But yeah, we're working on that too. Absolutely. Big Orange said, is it crazy to think that this year's baseball team can win almost as many games as last year's? He said, we're a lot better than people think. I say we can win 55 plus. So I'm going to give Rustin credit. He said a week ago tonight, actually, he said, this will be the best team Tony Vitello has had at Tennessee. That's a big statement. Early returns it's probably maybe at least the deepest team they've had for sure. But they're really good. Herb said he's going to be there Sunday. That's what I'm talking about, Herb. We'll look for you on TV, man. You'll be the one wearing orange, right? We hope to see you on TV, but that'd be awesome. Mississippi Vol said, get those fingers and thumbs busy smashing that like, subscribe, and share button. Totally agree. He said there's pizza at stake here, people. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hitting Dinger said, "Does the simulator make a glass breaking sound if you hit a window?"
Probably
she
so.
remembers it makes the splash sound because I hit it in the water a whole lot, so it does make the splash sound. 504 people watching it, 505 across all three platforms. That's really exciting. Sandra said, we hit our free throws. We went 16 and 18. That's the best we hit in a long time.
Yep.
I mean, that's a difference in the game, right? That right there, that's the difference in the game.
Doesn't hurt when Joel goes 11 for 11.
For sure. Eric said, Coach Caldwell's a good women's coach. When Danny White hired her, I didn't see Lady Vols being this good in her first season. I totally agree, man. I think you just spoke for everybody in Vol Nation. They are exceeding expectations, and that's why I was so excited when Kim Caldwell was named to the Coach of the Year watch list. That's a big deal because she deserves it. I mean, what she's done with this team is incredible. Tony, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said Kanaya Board is going to be special in the coming years. Kim Caldwell really likes her too. She talked her up in post game. Her defense, I mean, she's an incredible defender, and now she's really turning on offensively too.
Yeah, she's getting to the basket, and she had the hustle play of the night tonight. It's impressive. She's going to be special.
Rhonda said, "Isn't it great to be this excited about Lady Vols basketball again?" Amen, sister. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan said, "I have a strong case of Batter Vol syndrome from the last basketball game in Florida." Well, John, I got just the thing for you, buddy. On our store, we've got Battered Vol Syndrome Survivor shirts. I have one downstairs that we got a while back. You got hoodies. They're all right there for you, buddy. Got multiple different color options. Man, what a great deal. $23.76 for that shirt right there. You can't beat that with a stick, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff. Let's see. Kim Caldwell, Josh said Kim Caldwell really threads the needle perfectly of being a no-nonsense coach, but also one that her players love. That's a great point, man. That's great. She says a perfect mix to hard nose and players coach. Yeah, that's a great point. Big Orange said this is the most exciting thing ever. We are so lucky to have hired Tony Vitello to coach our baseball team. I agree. We like it so much we made a hat about it. Have I mentioned that tonight? We love these hats. Whoa, Matt, you're the man, dude. He said he just bought the dark mode hat.
He did.
You are the man.
I was just about to say I just saw the email come through.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, dude. That is so cool. Matt, you're the real one, buddy. Yeah, look at that. We got an email. It says your site made a sale. How about that? Matt, you are the man, dude. You are the man.
Canada scored 2-2.
Tony said, how long before Jay Abernathy is in the lineup every day? Ooh, good question.
How?
Well, that's also a good point.
I mean,
that's the thing.
That's the problem.
A plethora of riches.
If he's in the lineup every day, that means either Chris Newstrom or Dalton Bargo or, somebody like that isn't in the lineup. And I think you're going to see a steady diet of rotating lineups all year long. I don't think you're going to see them land on, okay, this is our 9. I think it's going to constantly change.
And Dalton just hit 2 home runs in a single game, I mean, no joke. It's the deepest. It's got to be the deepest team Tony's ever had, easily.
Yeah,
because there's just so much talent. There's so much talent. Eric said Coach Caldwell gives it to the refs when they call bogus calls. I love that about her. Sanders said, I love how our ladies fight hard every game. Absolutely. 100%.
They're scrappy. And they're getting more comfortable and confident in what they're doing, and it's allowing them to be even more scrappy.
To the 510 people who are watching now across all 3 platforms, welcome. We're glad you're with us. Josh said, when Osuna comes back, who do you see as the odd man out?
I mean, it's probably Manny Marin. It's probably Manny Marin, but I don't think
he'll be a true freshman.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be the odd man out every day. I think there's days when he'll probably be the DH. I mean, they literally could roll any number of 9 or 10 different lineups out there without losing any talent at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to use this question from Big Orange to transition into our next topic, which is baseball. Side note, if you're one of those people who just joined us, if you like this hat, it can be yours. Look at that puff embroidery. Look at that. That is beautiful. Got the 22 in the middle for Coach V. Goat hat. Love it. We got it as shirts as well. If you like a shirt or a hoodie, just go to thevolbros.com/shop and it is right there for you. So I've got links in the comments too, if you want to go back and find them. And I'll put it in the description of the video after we're done being live. Tennessee baseball, another run roll victory Tuesday night against UNC Asheville, 29-4. Now, what's interesting is they were 5 runs shy of setting a program record, of tying a program record for most runs in a game. Most runs in a game ever, Tennessee baseball's 34. They were 5 runs shy. They are now 4-0 with 4 run rule victories. They host Samford this weekend in a weekend series. Rustin, is it possible that by Sunday night when we're live again, Tennessee baseball is 7-0 with 7 run rule victories?
I mean, it's definitely possible. I feel like at least one of those games will go 9. Samford's got a lot of JUCO transfers. They've got weirdly they didn't go get a whole lot of guys out of the portal. Most of their transfers are junior college. But they've got some talent. They've got some guys that can play. So I feel like at least one of those games will go 9, maybe even 2. But at least one will be run rule and possibly 2.
So now here's the thing about that. And if you're in the comments, maybe you know the answer to this, you can let us know in the comments because I have not taken the time to look up the answer. So if somebody wants to look, that'd be awesome. If Tennessee sweeps Samford this weekend with 3 run roll victories, so you've got 7-0, 7 run roll victories, would that be the most run roll victories to start a season ever in Tennessee baseball history? Which I kind of think it has to be, but somebody can verify. Next question would be, would that be the first time ever in college baseball history, period, that a team started a season with 7 run roll victories? I'd say that that's probably not the case, that there probably has been somebody else who's done that. But as far as Tennessee history goes, I bet you this would be the first team to ever do it, if they do it.
Surely.
I mean, it hasn't been done under Tony Vitello yet.
I can't imagine it's been done under anybody.
I agree. Let's see. Some of the other comments come through. Big Orange said those hats are sick. I like those. I totally agree, man. I love it. I got dark mode on. Rustin's got smoky gray on. We strongly recommend these to anybody. Matt, first person ever to buy a hat. You're the man, dude. Did you get dark mode or he got dark mode? Yep, he sure did. That's awesome. I think he got dark. You can verify me on that, Matt. Yeah, he did. I see it now. Let's see. Some of the other comments came through. Big Orange said, I hope the Lady Vols can make a Final Four run. March Madness is fun. I mean, they're going to give teams fits no matter who they're playing. We've seen that they can compete with the best teams in the country. They, lost a 1-possession game to South Carolina. They lost a 1-possession game to LSU. They beat Connecticut. 1-possession game to Oklahoma. So, I mean, they can play with the best. So they could, if shots are falling, they could. Sanders has the same thing. Do you think they can make the Final Four? They've proven they can play with anybody. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Josh said Lady Vol softball 0-2 versus ranked teams, can't score against the good softball teams. So did they lose today? I didn't see a score or anything.
They lost 1-0 to Oregon. They're about to run rule Oregon State. They're up 10-0 on Oregon State.
Mississippi Vols said, I realize our girls have Florida on Sunday. Don't want to forget that. But how do you think we match up with Kentucky next Thursday?
I think we're definitely deeper. I think Kentucky has had some internal strife that has distracted them a little bit this year. They've had some rough stuff happening with their coaching staff and families, and it's been hard. It's been a hard year for them. Kenny Brooks is a fantastic coach. They will be ready, but I don't think they have the depth. I think we can wear them down. My biggest concern in that game is us stopping Georgia Amore in the trap. Alabama broke our press down pretty easily tonight in the first half. Georgia Amore can do the same thing. So we've got to make sure that we're better on that. But the good news is they've got a few days to solve it and prepare. So I think we'll play well. I think we'll win. But I think it'll probably be a close game.
Matt said they could be the first team to ever have 7 run rule wins with 700 runs in the first 7 games. Yeah, exactly. Moondrops Beauty, welcome. Great to have you. She said Abernathy is phenomenally fast, just amazing. He is. I loved what the gentleman, I can't remember who it was, but the gentleman that was on the call for, I think it was the Sunday game. Maybe it was the Saturday game, but Abernathy, it was the game that he walked 3 times. I think it was Sunday. And I love what he said. He was like, if you walk Abernathy, you're essentially giving up a double because he will be on second base like the very next pitch. And I thought that's a great way of putting it. If he draws a walk, that is equivalent to somebody hitting a double. That's awesome. Josh said, really want the men to take it to A&M Saturday. Oh yeah, man. They have to go to A&M. So top 10 matchup. I would love it if they beat them. Herb said, Samford's usually pretty good mid-major. Played North Carolina tough midweek game year before last. That's true. They are typically a good team.
So opening weekend, they went 2-1. I didn't look to see how they did in the midweek. But they're a typical mid-major baseball team now. Like they're going to be a different roster every year. They're going to have, constant turnover because of the portal. So from year to year, you really can't predict what they're going to be. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They went undefeated on the weekend. They beat Valparaiso 3 times, but then they got waxed in the midweek. Jacksonville State beat them 12-6. That tells me there's not a whole lot of pitching depth. Their top 3 are probably pretty good, but if you can get to their bullpen, there's not much there. So we'll see.
Moondrops Beauty says Z Spearman has become my favorite Lady Vol. I love the swag and confidence she's playing with. It's definitely not off topic. We're talking Lady Vols. Jonathan said, I started to feel sorry. Yep. Jonathan said, I started to feel sorry for UNC Asheville Tuesday night. The amount of times we walked that game shows how patient this team is. It shows how patient they are, and it also shows how scared pitchers are to throw to them. Like they try to.
Yeah, but their discipline, I agree with him. 1 through 17 through the order, their discipline is unreal. I mean, they do not swing at bad pitches.
Tony said one of the SEC Unfiltered guys picked us 6th. The other picked us 4th in baseball in the SEC. I think we finished top 3 at least. I think they finished top 2 at least. Probably I agree with the rest of number 1. Yeah, that's 6th in the SEC is absurd.
That right there is why you should never trust national media members. They're clueless.
Let's see. Matt said, we'll buy more hats for presents, especially with a bro discount code. I like that, man. We'll work on it, I promise. I like that. Let's see. Josh said, haven't seen any of UCLA or USC women. How do we match up against those teams? I saw Notre Dame, and I don't think we match up great with them. I have not seen a lot of UCLA's basketball team either, but they ranked number 1 in the country. At least they were.
They UCLA is big and physical. If we could turn that into a track meet, that could be a really beneficial game for us. USC is Juju. If you stop Juju, you stop USC. She's the best player in the country, hands down, not close. And they live and die as she does. If she has a big night, they're going to win. If she's contained, they lose. So if we can find a way to control her, you got a shot.
Let's see. Mississippi Vols said, thanks for that, Rustin. That was a great breakdown. Didn't realize what was going on behind the scenes with Coach Brooks and his staff. Matt said he's worried about the A&M game, especially after Mississippi State embarrassed them. Yep. There's several people who have mentioned that they're coming off a loss, so they're going to be ready to roll. To the 523 people watching across all three platforms, we're glad you're here. Let's see. Herb, great point. He said, hopefully we see Tegan Coons pitch this weekend. Hopefully Sunday when he's there. I hope you get to see him too, man. I really do. It sounds like he's going to make his first appearance this weekend. At least that was what Tony was saying last weekend.
Yeah.
Tony, the one who is inspired by or inspired this hat that we have here, which Matt is the first person ever. He will always be the first person ever to purchase the first goat hat. I love it. Jonathan said, I heard baseball is on pace at 54 grand slams this year, which is a wild stat. I know we won't get that many, but I think we have a very good shot of breaking the record for sure. I mean,
Especially if we stop run rolling people. If we can actually play 9 innings, that'd be nice.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you think about this. They've already hit however many they've hit, and we have played 12 less innings than we should have. I mean, that's incredible. Tony said, I wasn't saying we couldn't finish first. We can, but man, the conference is loaded for sure. Oh, yeah, no doubt,
sure.
Man. No doubt.
Yeah,
Rhonda said,
I still think we're the best team in the country, though.
Rhonda said, another shirt idea for Rustin there. Never trust the media about our Vols. I love it. I love it. People would eat that up, man. and Hittendinger said, and on the back, no, really. That's great. She said about SEC, she said, that's why I get my info here about the Vols. I appreciate that. Josh said, for the men's basketball, we play 4 of the worst field goal percentage SEC teams down the stretch. Need to go on a run, although A&M and Ole Miss is on the road. It's tough.
A&M's going to come down to Jemai Meshack. If he can keep Wade Taylor in check, we can absolutely go win that game. If Wade Taylor has one of his nights where he's special and no one can stop him, it's hard to beat them in College Station when he's hot.
Moondrops Beauty said, I'm curious if y'all seen LSU play yet this year in baseball. If so, what do you think? I personally have not. Rustin, have you seen him play?
Yeah, typical LSU team. I think they've got some holes in their lineup offensively. I think they're still trying to figure out a couple of positions. I was not overly impressed with them offensively. Pitching wise, they've got a pretty deep pitching staff, but I think you can outscore them.
Like says, Meshack up for the Torchbearer Award.
Yep.
And he was also nominated yesterday. It was announced as the first ever, it's going to be an annual thing, but this is the first year. And it was a community impact or community service award, something like that. And it was for his work with Second Harvest. Pretty cool, awesome thing. Matt said, Rustin spitting facts. Josh said, pitching is good. Offense isn't great for LSU. Mississippi Vols said through 4 games, we've already hit 12 home runs this year. Through 4 games, 2024, we hit 3. Now, granted, we played Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech, and the 4th game was to UNC Asheville, which we only won 3-2. Sanders said, did y'all see Coach Caldwell finalist for Coach of the Year? Yep, absolutely.
And if they're honest, and if they're honest, they'll give it to her, because how many other coaches in America are in their first season and winning 20 games and ranked in the top 15?
Josh said, I think at the end of the year, Tennessee and Florida are 1 and 2. Florida baseball is really good this year. Rustin said, what about Florida here? They will be really good. Haven't seen them. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about Florida so far. I haven't
I
seen
would
them
say
play,
it's
but I've heard nothing but good.
I would say it's a typical Kevin O'Sullivan team. Real deep pitching staff, a lot of guys who throw gas. Offense is suspect. One day they're great, the next day they can't hit the broadside of a barn. And we all know what happens to Florida in the postseason. Sully will find some way to blow a game, and they'll end their season. Like, that's just what they do.
Jonathan said, I don't know if the pictures of A&M's new basketball jerseys were real, but they looked like more soccer jersey. So here's what's sad. Those were real.
And they wore them this past weekend.
They are potentially hideous. The ugliest jerseys in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
It was really, really ugly. Matt said we've hit 3 Grand Slams already, just saying. Absolutely. Big Orange said Texas A&M and Arkansas are only teams we need to worry about in baseball. There's a lot of good teams in the SEC for sure.
They're all good, but I agree with him. Those are the 2 that can give us problems. I don't think LSU or Florida can.
Josh said hit a lot of home runs and pitch great, like Rustin said about Florida. 533 people, 534 people, 36 watching all across all 3 platforms. We're glad you're here. So glad you're here. So as y'all know, we like to say that we support all of Tennessee athletics and cover all of Tennessee athletics. Well, we're here to tell you about something awesome that the men's swim team did yesterday. And think about it like this: in a sport where they measure victories by 1/100th of a second, that's how close it is. They measure it by hundredths of a second. Yesterday, the men's swimming team set a new NCAA record in the 200-meter freestyle, and they broke the record by more than half a second. So in a sport where they measure it by Herb said swimming team's underrated. I agree, man. I totally agree. In a sport where they measure it by the 100th of a second, they broke the record by over half a second. That's incredible. NCAA record. That's incredible. So we want to give a huge shout out. Listen, it is an everything school. And speaking of that, you can go get a shirt that has everything school on it. Look at those beautiful things. Man, that is just so gorgeous. 544 people watching right now. Glad y'all are here. If you like our hats, you can order those on this site too. thevolbros.com. Click on shop right there for you. So it truly is an everything school. Some of the other comments that came through just then. Let's see. Rhonda, we're glad you joined us. Thank you so much. Josh said Kentucky baseball is going to take a big step back this year.
Yeah, they are not good. They've only gotten in 2 games so far. They had a 3-game series with Lipscomb, and Sunday game got rained out, and they split the first 2 games. So they're 1-1 right now with a loss to Lipscomb.
I would assume their field's currently under snow based on the snow that's happened up there.
Probably.
Sanders, glad you joined us. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Big Orange said the only major sport Kentucky has on UT now is men's basketball. Matt said 536 live at 10:15 on a Thursday night. That's impressive, bros. I appreciate you, buddy. You're the man. You're the man. Matt said he wants one of those long sleeve everything school shirts, and like he said, she does too. We'll see what we can do about maybe getting a coupon code for as a launch special or something. That'd be cool. Let's see. Hitting dingers. That's like you said, everything school with a goat emoji. Let's see here. Moondrops Beatty said, I love listening to these opposing coaches and their pressers after a Lady Vols victory. Yes, absolutely. Josh said, oh, hang on. Like you said, Kentucky excels at concession sales to their own players, right? During games. Josh said, what's more likely to happen? Men's basketball Final Four or baseball repeats as national champion? Whoa, that's a good question.
I'll go baseball repeat.
Man, that's what I was going to say too. Here's the thing: like a lot of things. Listen, a lot of things have to go right for both, but when you look at this team, and what they're able to do right now, it's hard. It's hard to say they're not the best team in the country.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
Well, and you can, in baseball, you can have a bad day and still win the national championship. In basketball, if you have a bad day, your season's over.
Yeah, great point. I mean, look at the championship series last year. Took all 3 games.
Yeah,
absolutely. To the 549 people watching across all 3 platforms. 550. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all are awesome. We appreciate you guys so much. Let's see here. Josh said we need a Final Four so bad. Agreed.
Yep.
Irv said, how do you see starting pitchers and lineup going into SEC play? Well, I think starting pitchers are pretty much set, except maybe the Sunday one. That might change.
He said going into SEC play. By then, AJ Russell's going to be back.
Right. Right.
Tegan Coons is going to be healthy. I don't think we know that yet.
That's fair. Unless something crazy starts happening with Marcus Phillips or something, maybe control issues. It sounds like, listen, we know Liam Doyle is going to be the Friday night starter.
Yeah, definitely.
That's happening. Phillips, I mean, unless he starts losing control or something, he'll be the Saturday guy. And so really the only spot open is Sunday, potentially. And it is kind of hard to imagine that AJ Russell wouldn't eventually take over that spot, because I mean, Nate Snead's an amazing pitcher, but AJ Russell's better. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Eric, glad you joined us, man. He said, happy y'all got some merch there. He said, make your merch as soon as it's ordered. That's awesome. Absolutely. Hey man, we love Oak and Twine. We appreciate them. Josh said, I agree. Men's basketball is probably the most fluky championship out of them all. I mean, look at, who was it? The 15 seed that made it to the Elite Eight, the Light Cup. They beat Kentucky. I can't remember who it was. St. Peter's. That's who it was. Josh said he thinks it's Liam, Russell, and Phillips or Snead by year's end. That's fair.
I think they'll get to a point where one of the games will be AJ Russell starting, Nate Snead relieving, because that's what they were going to do this past year on Friday, and it was just going to be the 2 of them, and however they split up the game was how they split it up. So I think they'll eventually get to that. But I'm telling you, the wild card in all this is Tegan Coons, and there are pro scouts who have put out there that they believe Tegan Coons is the best pitcher on the entire roster.
That's saying something. Mississippi Vol, you're the man, dude. He said, really enjoying the show tonight, guys. I look forward to Sundays and Thursdays for this very reason, and we appreciate that. How fun was it to have Emily High on here? She was fantastic.
Yep.
And it was so cool to see the national championship jersey behind her on the wall. That was so cool. Big Orange said, let's go back to back. And by this time next season, Lindsey Nelson will be one of the best venues in the SEC. All of a sudden we'll be one of the elites in college baseball. It's hard to argue that. Tony said, I think Kim Caldwell gets us to a Final Four within a few years. Maybe this year if we get a good draw. I think Elite Eight is possible. I agree. I think they go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
At that point, we'll see what happens. But I agree. Josh said he still thinks Tegan could take Sunday over for Phillips, maybe. Jonathan said, I heard the announcer said Russell wouldn't be back till late in the season. Could you see him not playing all year and being completely healthy next year?
He's already on the mound throwing against his teammates in practice. It won't be late in the season. He'll be back soon.
Yep. He agreed Emily was a pleasure to have on here. Josh said it's insane how deep they are. We haven't even mentioned Dylan Loy once for pitching. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about
He's got a little injury he tweaked, so it's going to be a little bit before he's back. But yeah, he'll definitely be in the mix.
And I mean, even with Dylan, you're looking at Tennessee Player of the Year 2 years ago in high school, and last year as a true freshman comes in and massive contribution in the Super Regional, and then also in Omaha. So
and the SEC championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Josh, you say, I just think basketball's too inconsistent. It pains me to say, but it's really, she's right. I mean, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with them.
Yeah.
Matt said, great Lady Vols win tonight against Alabama. Absolutely. So we had 2 other things that we were going to talk about tonight. I think we're going to have to save them for Sunday because there's been some coaching changes for football, some promotions from within. Obviously, we got to talk about those things. And then, honestly, maybe one of the funnest things to talk about, and we'll have to talk about this Sunday night because this will be a while. The SEC and Big Ten have essentially just said, okay, we're going to run the show from now on in college football. Everybody else just do what we're telling you to do. That's basically what's happened with what news came out this week about 2026 and the expansion of the college football playoff that's going to happen in 2026. I mean, essentially the SEC and Big Ten, it literally says in the documents that they will decide with input from other conferences. So, I mean, they're running the show. Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, and Greg Sankey, commissioner of the SEC, they're in the driver's seat. So we got to talk about that. Some of the potential solutions that have been proposed for 8 and 9 game seasons in conference. And then what's really interesting is it's already been mentioned about replacing the SEC championship game and Big Ten championship games with essentially a conference play-in game.
Well, they also already talked about changing the seeding format for this upcoming year. So like they're already saying this seeding stuff doesn't work. We're fixing this.
Yep. So even though Rustin's saying there, even though it's staying at 12 teams for 2025, the seeding will be different this year too, which is good because it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But 2026, it's expanding to 14, potentially 16 teams. Josh said heading towards a 40-team football mega conference fast, and others will play something else. It's going to be the NFL model for college football, unfortunately. Herb said the seeding this year was ridiculous. I agree. Eric said just looking at all the depth this season for baseball and all the good depth Tony has coming in, it's going to be amazing. I agree totally.
Yeah, he's put together one of the top 2 recruiting classes in the next class. So as good as this freshman class is, there's one coming in that's every bit as good as they are.
So Sunday night, obviously we're going to be talking about the Lady Vols game Sunday. We're going to be talking about the men's basketball game at Texas A&M from Saturday. And of course, we're going to be talking about baseball's weekend series with Samford. How cool would it be if Tennessee becomes the first ever team to start the season with 7 run rule victories? How cool would that be? So we look forward to seeing everybody then. We will have to talk about all this football stuff that night too, though, because there's too much of it to not talk about. So we got to talk about that then. The 550 people who are watching right now, we appreciate you guys. If you like these hats, so we got the Coach V number 22 and the GOAT there. This is the dark mode. Rustin's wearing let's see here. So you got mine in the dark mode there. Rustin's wearing the smoky gray. Both incredibly sharp looking hats. Absolutely tickle pink with how these hats turned out. I love them. Richardson 112 hats. Puff embroidery. You can see that on mine. The puff, look at that. Look how good that is. Puff embroidery on there. That's just awesome, man. Both hats, the dark mode and the smoky gray, have it. You can find these at the volbros.com/shop. The volbros.com/shop. There we are. Like you said, nice hats. Totally agree. Really, really appreciate Oak and Twine You can check them out. That's a local company right here just outside of Chattanooga. Local company that we're working with. They're manufacturing these hats for us. They will ship it to you to your doorstep, and we're so thankful for them. Matt, you're the dude tonight, man. Matt was the first person to ever buy a goat hat. I hope you love it. Hope you enjoy it. Everybody go check out Oak and Twine on Instagram. That is at oak_twine, oakandtwine.com. So we're super excited, man. We're so fortunate, and we're very thankful that the Lord has allowed us to partner with people who are hardworking people. They're good folks. You know, we got people at the Ooltewah Club that are just tremendous to work with. My goodness, they are so wonderful to work with. They are awesome. Like, we just come to them with an idea and like, hey, what about this? And they're like, let's do it. Sounds great. They are so fun to work with. And now we got people like Oak and Twine. It's literally a family-owned business, a family business. And they're going to be supplying all of our merch. It's just so cool, man. When you buy from Volbros, thevolbros.com/shop, you're buying local. And so I love it. We so appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We hope you join us Sunday night, same time, 9:00 Eastern on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Matt, we appreciate you, buddy. Josh said, do y'all think when E or Frank leaves that it'll hurt Tennessee baseball? I know Tony is great, but Frank is a pitching genius. I don't know. You can't lose somebody of that quality and not at least have it. You feel it a little bit.
It's become the premier job in America to have. There will be a line out the door of top tier pitching coaches wanting that job.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. Well, we hope everybody have a great evening. I'm going to go back and you'll see links on our socials and in the description of this video to the volbros.com/shop, and especially these hats. Puff embroidery. I love it, man. It looks so good. So have a great evening, everybody. Go Vols, baby. And we will see all of you. Josh, thank you, buddy. He said, great show, boys. We appreciate you, man. Thank you. We will see all of you Sunday night, 9:00. Huge show that night, too, as we talk about college football expansion, playoff expansion, and, of course, everything that's going on in Rocky Top this weekend. So have a great evening, everybody. Go Vols. I'm going to end with the baseball one since we got our GOAT Coach V 22 hats. I'm going to end with that outro. Matt, he knows. He said, go Vols, baby. That's right. We'll see y'all very, very soon. Just like Matt said, go Vols, baby.